I'm Danielle with Trinity Readings. We are doing the Cancer Weekly Tarotscope. Keep in mind these are general readings, so take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If you find that the reading doesn't resonate, you can always check your moon, rising, or Venus placements because sometimes those will resonate more. And I do offer personal readings. You can get all that information in the description box. Okay, my lovely Cancers. Let's see what you guys got going on this week. We're going to pull some message cards for you. See what is the strongest message you need to hear right now. What are your guides trying to say to you? What's the strongest energy for you this week? Okay, I feel like some of you might be either dealing with maybe some money issues, or it could even be showing up within your relationships. You might be feeling in your relationships that the energy that you're giving is not being reciprocated. You might be dealing with a lot of power struggles with people. And you might be dealing with issues with money overall. I feel like it's important to kind of get out of your logical mind. Get out of logic when it comes to any kind of struggle that you're dealing with right now. You need to look, and this is funny because this has been coming up in a lot of readings this month. It's really important to look at the energy that you are giving as work that you're doing to get paid, right? In your relationships, in your job, in everything, right? And ask yourself, is the amount of energy that I'm putting in to this relationship, to this situation, to this job, am I getting compensated fairly for the amount of energy that I'm putting in? And if the answer is no, then it's time to kind of step back and reevaluate what's valuable to you, where you're putting your energy. And I don't even mean just physical effort, right? If you're at a job and you work, the normal, 8-hour days, 40 hours a week, you get paid decent. But when you go home, you are still extremely stressed out. It takes you hours to unwind. You take a lot of stress home with you. Then it's important to ask, is this really valuable to me? It's in relationships also. If you feel like you're constantly giving effort and not getting that same effort in return, then you're not getting paid for the energy that you're putting in. And so you need to dial back the energy, and you don't have to cut yourself down, shut yourself off, put those walls up. It just means what you do is when you give energy, you make sure you are giving, you value the energy that you're giving, that you feel good about the energy that you're giving, that you feel positive about the energy that you're giving. And if you're not, then pull yourself back. And again, if you're not getting the same in return, then you need to be giving some of that energy to yourself. So if you've got a relationship with somebody and you are frustrated because this person doesn't ever express feelings to you, they don't seem to put in effort, the more effort you put in, it's not going to make them suddenly change and put in more effort. But at the same time, what we tend to do in situations like that is say, well, I'm just not going to do anything and wait for you to show up or whatever. but then most people still sit and focus on it and dwell on it and get angry and get frustrated because that person is still not doing anything. If you're still focusing on something, you have not pulled your energy back, right? Pulling your energy back means moving your energy in a different direction, moving your energy in a place that's going to be beneficial to you. So if you're wanting more balance in your relationships and you feel that you put too much energy in, then you take some of your time and, again, don't sit and wait, but put your energy somewhere else. Put your energy into something that feels good to you, that you feel that your time and your energy and your focus is being utilized in a valuable way. And that is going to start reflecting in your money and the money that you're receiving and what you're receiving in relationships, everything. I definitely feel, again, especially if you have been struggling with money or relationships, you're putting too much thought into this. You're putting too much focus into this. And you need to kind of, again, shift your energy and put that focus into something else. And that is how you're going to overcome this difficulty, or overcome this difficult energy. All right, let's see. Let's get some oracle messages. Let's see if we can expand on that message, get a little bit more on what the energy for you this week is. 5588, that might be significant to somebody. There's definitely a change that is needed, and it's a change that will put you in a more abundant energy. But you're in the energy of the change right now, which probably does not feel good. I feel like some of you maybe might have recently express something to another person and you don't feel that this was received very well. You might be trying to stand in your truth more, be more authentic. You might be, again, trying to get to the truth of a situation. Some of you, I feel, some of you may be connecting to somebody or connecting in a relationship that is, you're connecting to this relationship because it's triggering your abandonment wounds. It's triggering it's meant to help you address your abandonment wounds. Like a trauma bond. Some of you might have gone through a situation where you did speak your truth, you did speak up, and again, you feel alone. You don't feel that it was received very well. You feel ostracized. You feel like speaking your truth has got you in trouble. But it's going to connect you to the people that are going to recognize and appreciate that truth within you. keep doing what you're doing. It's like you're working through some kind of darkness. You're working through some kind of heavy energy. You're in the middle of a really powerful change. Everything you do right now is benefiting your future, although you might not see it right at this moment. But I feel like the energy and the space that you're in right now, you're questioning yourself. You're questioning your path forward. You're questioning the people that you're connected to. Be mindful of the decisions you make right now if you are feeling in this kind of place. You don't want to make any long-term decisions from a scarcity-based mind space, because that's what a trauma bond is. That is what a trauma bond is. And maybe that's what the message is. Examine whether or not the relationships you have in your life are trauma bonds, or whether you've had trauma bonds. And a trauma bond happens when one or both people are in such a low, difficult place. And that's not to say anything negative about what anybody's going through, but somebody, one or both people are going through such a difficult time, and that they connect to somebody in that space, right? They connect to somebody when they're struggling, and that person might help them through that struggle. But when you connect in that aspect, that one person who was struggling always feels like the victim, and maintains that kind of energy within the relationship. And it's hard to have a balanced relationship when it was started or built on a foundation where somebody was in a lack space, where somebody was in survival mode. You don't ever want to start a relationship when you're in survival mode, because that is what creates trauma bonds. And I don't want to speak too much on that, because I really haven't read enough on it to really know a lot of details, but I would look into what trauma bonds are and ask yourself if you have any relationships in your life that are reflecting that. And I mean, I feel like trauma bonds, I feel like they can be fixed, but it requires almost like a complete restart, right? Both people need, anytime you start a relationship, both people really need to be in a good, frame of mind. But I mean, I know that's obviously not an ideal thing to say, but just make sure that you don't have trauma bonds. Let's see a little bit more what's wanting to come up. And this could also be a warning not to get yourself into a relationship that could become a trauma bond. If you are feeling lack in any way, you don't want it. And I'm not saying don't connect to people when you're feeling lack. I'm not saying that at all. Obviously, connect to people. It's probably a good thing to connect to people when you're feeling kind of alone, but don't make any, long-term relationship decisions when you're in that place. Don't jump into, commitment right away if you feel like you're sitting in survival mode. Tell me a little bit more what's going on with you this week. How's Cancer showing up this week? I'm hearing you have a one-track mind right now. I do feel like you're very heavily focused on something. You're very heavily focused on manifesting some sort of change, getting some sort of truth out. The answers that maybe you're looking for right now they're not really going to be found physically. You're not going to get the answers from a conversation. You're not going to get the answers by seeking more physical information. I feel like it's important to, it's like, it's what you're seeing is not as important as what you're not seeing right now. yeah, it's like, don't make any major decisions right now until you acknowledge what's going on in your heart space, till you acknowledge what you're actually feeling. And not just your feelings for a particular person, how you feel overall, how you feel, in the relationship, not just how you feel about the person, how you feel about yourself in the relationship. You need to look at yourself. You need to look at what you value in yourself. You need to look and acknowledge if you are seeing the value in yourself that you're wanting other people to see in you. And I know this is random, but the way you're viewing your money situation and the way you're looking at your love life, you need to recognize it's the same exact energy. It's the same exact issue. Fixing your financial life is going to fix your love life and vice versa. Don't look to your relationships to fix your financial world. And don't look to your money to fix your relationships. You think you're following your heart, but I feel like you're following your logic. And that's kind of the guidance this week. I think that you... Oh, okay. You know, we're taught to tap into our intuition and learn to trust our intuition. And we're told that when you feel comfortable, when you feel good, that's a sign that your intuition is right. Or that's a sign that you're on the right path. But when you have experienced a lot of lower vibrational energy in your life, a lot of toxic relationships, a lot of toxicity, a lot of difficult in your life, if you have been in situations that were very chaotic for long periods of time and you had to adjust your own energy to find comfort in the chaos, right? That feeling of comfort and calm that you're feeling might not always be a good thing. It might not be reflecting to you that this is something that's necessary. Because when the change, right, is conflict. Any change brings conflict. Any change brings uncomfortable energy. That doesn't mean it's a bad thing. That means that there's passion to it. It means that there's purpose and meaning to it, right? And it means that you are being pushed out of your comfort zone. If your comfort zone has been to find ways to make yourself feel comfortable and calm in toxic situations, that's not the comfort zone that you really need to go by, right? I just kind of feel like there's something that's needing to be released in order for you to be in a place of growth. I feel like some of you are like, I feel like some of you are going or risking going back to the same thing or the same energy that has kept you in a place where you feel like you're always fighting and struggling for attention or acknowledgement or to feel comfort or to feel value. It's like be mindful that you're not putting yourself into the same situation that I feel like maybe you've been trying to get out of. You need to give yourself more time. You need to examine the decisions that you're making right now. And again, look at what you're feeling. But again, not what you're feeling about a particular person or about a particular situation, but how you feel in general, how you feel, throughout your day, how your emotions change throughout the day, how your energy shifts when you're around certain people. Give me a little bit more. Where is this showing up for you this week? How is this showing up for you this week? This energy is showing up. It's almost like some of you might be in the process of trying to decide whether you should wait or start new. You might be questioning the potential of a situation or of a relationship. Yeah, there does seem to be some sort of opportunity that you're seeing, or there's a relationship that you've been putting energy into and you're wanting this relationship to manifest. There's something missing. There's something you're not seeing in this connection right now. You're waiting for an opportunity or you're questioning whether you should move forward, but there's something lacking. If you are struggling with money and feeling like you need to make a relationship decision to give yourself more financial stability, don't be so quick to jump on that. Don't settle. Yeah. Also, it's your time to make things happen for yourself. I feel like some of you keep getting put into situations or relationships. It's like everything's happening to you. You need to be creating the relationships you want. You need to be stepping forward and manifesting the relationships that you want. You don't have to settle, right? You don't want to get stuck in this situation again. I'm hearing again. Don't get stuck in this situation again. Even if you're connecting to a new person, be mindful if you're seeing, like if you've had a toxic relationship in the past, or if you've recently stepped away from a toxic relationship and you're manifesting a new person, like, make sure you're not seeing the same red flags. Don't make the same mistake twice. Because if you are feeling that you are in this space right now, if you are feeling that you are lacking anything, it's going to be harder to get out of. Don't borrow money if you don't feel that you can get the money to pay it back. Don't get yourself stuck. Don't get yourself stuck. That's what they keep saying. Don't get yourself stuck. I know it looks comforting, it looks appealing, it looks like it's going to be a solution to the problems that you're having, but it's going to create more problems. Be okay with creating waves, making a little bit of conflict. If you are a people pleaser, this month is pushing to get out of that space, to get out of being a people pleaser, to be willing to create chaos and conflict in order to have the happiness you know you deserve. Is there any other message you need to hear? They keep saying the same thing. Don't do it again. It's not what it appears. It's not what it appears. You think this is going to... You're stronger than you realize. You can create more than you realize. Give it time. Be willing to ask the hard questions. Be willing to face things head on this week. There definitely does seem to be some kind of reconciliation with somebody, but I feel like it's really important to acknowledge where you truly are at energetically right now, as well as that person. It could be that you have somebody from your past who's going through some kind of financial trouble and asking you for assistance. And I feel like it's important to ask yourself how fucked you're really going to be if you help this person and are not able to get that money back. Like, really examine what you're getting yourself into. I'm sorry, that was not a fun reading. Hold out for what you want. Be very clear with what you want. Be very clear with speaking what you expect, what you deserve. And also really look at, is what being presented to you truly what you want right now? All right, I'm going to leave it at that. I hope you guys have a great week. Bye-bye.